Thank you for joining me, my brother.
You're welcome,
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. You are a dedicated Christian, and you are actually a gospel singer. So I would like us to have a little bit chat about some of the things that I see going on in our Christianity today. Let's start up from the last video that I posted. I talked about surrogacy, and the response that I get is unbelievable. People don't even want to know about it. Most people think it's a sin. And the thing is, a lot of Christians, some couples in the church need this help, and what happens is that they will leave the church and go outside to seek for this help, and you find out that they end up getting involved with people that they should not get involved with as Christians. People with questionable character, because when you are desperate, you do things that you would not normally do. And my question is, why are Christians so reluctant about these modern technologies and development that we get from our health, especially from our health sector? Something like this surrogacy, they think is a sin. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that being a surrogate mom is a sin or something like that? What's your personal opinion?
Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Let me just this question is a very big question, and it's a very sensitive one. And I'm just wondering me that I'm just a baby in Christianity.
No,
You have asked like our bishops and codians. It is well. But I'll just give my own opinion.
Yeah.
Because surrogacy, it's I would say it's a medical stuff, and it has to do with science stuff and stuff like that. And firstly, we need to understand what it is anyway. It's like another woman carrying the baby and giving birth to that baby for another woman, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, my own understanding of it. Yeah, and I think there are two ways of doing it. I think there's one they call traditional way, whereby the man and the woman, as the surrogacy woman, the man and the surrogacy woman, they will meet, and the woman will conceive and give birth like a normal woman, and that child will be for another woman. And the other one is, I think, gestational type, which they will collect the egg from the woman and the male sperm as well. They put it in IVF, and when the child is developing, then they will now put it in the surrogacy woman to carry the baby. So the difference between these two is the traditional one, the baby has the gene of the woman, the surrogacy woman.
Yeah.
But the gestational type, the baby does not have the gene of the surrogacy woman.
Yes.
So this it's optional. So it now depends on which one do we want to go for when you're talking about surrogacy. So, and if one is going for the traditional one, which the baby we have the gene of that woman, I think it's a bit complicated, because since the baby will be carrying the gene of the woman, so the baby is connected.
The traditional one is straightforward. Straightforward is a sin. In as much as the woman has slept with the man that is not her husband, that's a sin. Yeah. That's not what I'm going for. What I'm talking about is the one that is done in the hospital, the one that the doctors will do, that the woman doesn't have any genetic connection with the baby.
With the baby.
He's just a vessel that is used to carry the child. That's the one I'm looking at. Okay,
so the gestational one.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, if in my own opinion, if I look at that one, it's you know, I would not say it's a sin, and I will not say it's not a sin, because if we most of these things that the Lord has given we human knowledge, understanding about some things that we don't need to go and be crying and be praying to God for. He has already put people in place, like, you know, when God was giving people knowledge about crafting, those that know how to build things, those that can, you know, all those things. It's a gift that God has given. Yeah. And God has given these people gift as well to do all these things. So we, in that aspect, me and myself, I respect that. And I thank God for that, because it's a gift that God has given them, as in terms of science, in terms of medical science. And so if that is put in place, I think it lessens the idea of being barren, not having a child. Do you understand? And if we recall, as in conception, if we recall the story of Abraham I think in Genesis chapter 16. Genesis chapter 16 from verse 1, when the wife Sarah told my Lord, I'm giving you my maid. You know, that one, if there was surrogacy at that point, so those period of time, maybe Sarah would have gone for it.
Of course.
Would have gone for it, because it's similar for you to have given your maid to your, as in giving another woman to your husband. You know, it's because she had no option. So it shows that has been happening in the past. So we can call that one a traditional way of
culture. It's been part of their culture, because she will not be the one inventing that. It will be a problem if the one inventing it in that society at that point. And also the Bible, God said in the book of Genesis that we should go and replenish the earth, we should multiply. And he didn't say how are we going to multiply. It wasn't stated there in the Bible that this is how you are going to multiply. I don't know. But what I would say, my own, if someone, like you're asking me now, what is your conviction? What do you think about it? Because God is the judge of everything. It is God that will judge all of us. So if one feels that that is an option, I won't say no. Well, I won't say no, because looking at it, there is there is nowhere in the Bible, there is no place that you can back it up in the Bible there's nothing in the Bible that you will use to, you know, justify it as a sin.
No, I don't know.
It's technology. I don't know any. You know, I don't understand why the Christians, if you are talking to Christians, they don't even want to listen to. They don't even want to, and you find that people are struggling. You know, couples are struggling in the church, and before you know it, you see a Christian being, you know, using a prostitute to have a child. While there's a lot of people that could help them in the church, but they are being religious. So that's why I'm trying to figure out why are they looking at this as if it's a sin? Because as far as I'm concerned, there is no sin in it. There is no sin.
I would say that as well, and I will not say that again, because, you know, Christianity is built on faith. And it depends on our level of faith. You understand? So if you know, as a Christian, if you say, oh, I'm opting for surrogacy, you know, as a Christian, another Christian, they'll be like, you don't have enough faith. Do you think God cannot do it? Do you think God cannot do it? And you know, this faith of a thing and Christianity is a very deep thing. I don't know if it's not, faith is not, when we say we are using faith to ask God for something. It's not something that you just do 1 minute and it happens. Your ways has to be in line with God first, as in there should be a connection between you and God before you can say, oh, you are exercising faith on something like that. It's not that somebody that is messing up around and you know got a problem and you know say, oh Lord, I'm believing you for this one. I don't know whether it works. I don't believe it works like that.
For me, I said it before in one of my posts. For me, that's ignorant and that's being religious. You know, when you look at when it comes to childbearing, yeah, God made it clear that He has given us power to have children. Yeah. There are things that God, if you're asking God to do something that He has given you power to do, you are wasting your time. He has given us power. He has given us power to have children. If something happened, unfortunately, someone has a problem, maybe a sickness that prevents them from conceiving naturally, yeah, God has given you the prayer you are praying, the faith you are trying to have. God has already answered the prayer through science. He is the one that gives the doctors the gift to be able to develop those medicines that will help you. If you, because the Bible made it clear that not everything good comes from God, that nothing good that can come from the devil. So you cannot tell me that it's the devil that gives the doctors the wisdom to develop this technology. So if you ignore the technology, that means you are ignoring the handwork of God. So for you to say you are having faith when the prayer has already been answered is ignorant, and that's religion. And
I understand the point you are coming from, but what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, okay, in the days of Jesus, those that Jesus healed, it wasn't because there wasn't any doctor then. It wasn't because they cannot be healed like their way of medical stuff in the olden days. They too can be healed. There were medicines for them. Okay, but when you say something is supernatural healing, that is the area that I am coming from. Fine, they have medicine as well in the olden days. Those that were suffering from one kind of diseases or so. So some of them, they can go to their medical stuff, and those ones will help them and sort them out. But the fact that they don't, maybe some of them didn't have the funds. Some of them might be poor, some of them might be less privileged. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they couldn't. That's where God's come in. That's where God comes in.
That's the point I am saying as well. Okay. That see, someone might want to use faith in that point, in that area. But when you have, and even it depends. You might want to be like, well, this is what I want to exercise my faith upon. There's nothing wrong in it if that's your choice. If that's your choice, that person made the decision that, okay, I don't want to do this, I want to believe in God. There's no crime in it. You can do it. It's your choice.
But
if you know that your faith, sorry?
What I'm trying to say, how can you be believing in God with something that He has given you power to do? That's where I'm coming from. That's different between when God comes in, when it's beyond human. Something that is beyond human, that is where you have faith in God, that something that is supernatural. But when God has given you power to do something, if you are waiting on Him to do it for you, that's ignorant, and that's religion. And that has destroyed a lot of religious people, because there's a difference between something that is supernatural, that's something that God has given you power to do, like childbearing, like marriage. Even marriage is a human thing. If you say that you are believing God to give you a husband, you are being ignorant, because they don't have marriage in heaven. The widow that asked Christ, who will be my husband in the last day? Jesus made it clear to her that, see, marriage is a human thing. In heaven, there is no marriage. So God has given you power to get a husband, to get a wife. If you are waiting for God to give you a wife or a husband, you are being ignorant. That's what I'm saying. There are things that have been given us, that God has given us power to do. And there are things that God does for us. There are things that are beyond us, like demonic attack, satanic manipulation. You don't have power to fight demons. God will protect you from all those things. But there are some certain things that He has given us power to do. You understand? Like that's why you have all this technology. Jesus Christ said it in the New Testament. He said that it's difficult for religious people, you know. That's where he talked about old wine skin and the new wine. That people are trying to pour new wine in an old wine skin. That religious people find it difficult to renew their mind. For you to be a Christian, you will constantly renew your mind. That being led by the Spirit. So what that means is that you have to go with the times. But if you are not, if you are a religious person, that's one of the dangers of religion. It keeps you, it locks you up in the past. It makes it impossible for you to renew your mind. Jesus said it. You have to renew your mind, that you cannot pour a new wine in an old wine skin. And if you are a religious person, you have an old wine skin. You have that old ways. It will be difficult for you to understand why you, as a Christian, you should go to the hospital and ask the doctor to help you to have a child. If you have that religious mind, it will be difficult for you. But if you are, this is my own perspective, if you are somebody that renews, that have the Spirit of God, the Spirit of God will lead you into all truth, and then He will renew your mind, and it will be possible for you to go with the times. And that is where the Christians struggle. They find it difficult to embrace modern technologies because sometimes the way he looks, if you're a religious person, it's difficult for you to embrace them.
Sometimes what we call those we call Christians, they are not Christians, because sometimes if we look at this science, technology of things, these things are gradually taking us away from God. These things are gradually reducing our faith in God. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you cannot support taking some medical science or all these things. Yeah, we can support them, but these things is just, if you look at it, these things are taking us away from. They are taking the power of God away from us. Jesus is telling us that we should seek God more. That is the whole thing that He has. One of the part of the messages He has brought to us. That's why He said, even if I come back, will I meet faith again? Because these things, like we are saying, we want to believe. Okay, I have already known that if I go this one will be there. I don't need to. But that these things, they gradually are taking us away from God. No, I'm telling you.
I think the reason why you are saying this now is because as the Christians that we are, and we grew up knowing, is a Christian. We become Christians for things. We don't go to God for God. Because if you go,
no, that is not the Christian that I take.
I don't know. There's a point that I want to come across with you now. So people become Christian, and they come and they want to go to God for things.
People.
You go to God, if your Christian is based on what you can get from God, then that's a problem. That is why we find it difficult to go to the hospital, because we believe that God will give us a child. Before you are sick, you say, no, I'm not going to go to the doctor. I believe that God will heal me. Then you start challenging God with your sickness. That means you're going for God for things. But if you study the miracles that Jesus did in the Bible, is not because he just wants to show people, to prove to people who he is.
He didn't just want to show to people.
He wants to prove to people that he is the Son of God, because people were doubting. Most people were doubting.
He said, remember, he said, these people will not believe if there are no signs and wonders.
That's what I'm saying. He's trying to prove himself. That's exactly,
it's just this, when they are miracles.
Let me land. That's exactly what I'm saying. He said, if I don't do these things, they will not believe. But he's not asking you to come to him because of what he's doing. No. He wants you to come to him because you are ignorant. But when you get away from your ignorance, you shouldn't come to God because of what you want to get from me. You should come for me because I am God. But most Christians go to God because of what they want to get from God. So they start using their problem to challenge God. I'm having faith on you to do this for me. Then if you didn't do it, They leave. They seek the path of. They go to the devil.
That's why I said we mix those some people. Some of these people that we call Christians, they are not Christians. When you say some Christians, they will come to God because of what they want.
Most Christians,
that is not.
Most Christians believe in God because of what they want to get from God. Some go to church because of protection. Most people go to church because of money. They go to church because they are afraid of the devil. Only a few Christians go to God because He is God. Trust me when I say that. When I say this to you, trust me.
Yeah, I understand. That's what that is exactly what I'm trying to say. That's
what I'm saying. Because of this, it's difficult for them to see what is happening around them. They want to challenge God with everything that is happening around them, which is wrong, and they become ignorant of what God has given them power to do. God did not want you to come to Him because of what you want to get from Him. No, He has given us power to do a lot of things. But because we become Christians, because of what we want to get from Him, then if you have a headache, I'm not going to go to hospital. Having faith. You having faith, He has given you doctors to heal you. He doesn't want you to come to Him because of your headache. God wants you to come to Him because He is God. That's it. The miracle that Jesus did because He wants people to believe. That's why He did the miracle. It's not the norm. It's not how it's supposed to be. But the people of those days, we are so ignorant. He has to do something to get them to Himself. Then you'll be able to grow, to be able to understand the things that He is teaching us. But you find out that most Christians today, they go to church because of what they want to get from God. And then you see them challenging God with their issues, and which is wrong. You started asking for a child. He has given you power to make children. Go and replenish the earth. It's the responsibility of human. They don't have babies in heaven. If you are asking God to give you babies, ignorant. He has given you people. If He wants to do it, there's a purpose. Like if you want to talk about what happened with Abraham, that's a special occasion. There's a reason behind it to teach us. That's why we are still reading it 2,000 years ago. We are talking about Abraham. That's one of the reasons that he did it. But most Christians, because of the way we were introduced into Christianity, it's difficult for us to come to God because He is God. We come to God because of our problems. And it becomes another issue.
Yeah, that's like you said, the foundation is what really matters. The foundation is the problem. You cannot believe what you don't know.
Exactly.
You cannot believe and before you know it, you must have experienced it.
Exactly.
So what you don't have a clue of, and you say you want to believe, it will be easy. That person can be easily swept away from it. So, but when we're talking about faith, there's still the word faith. It still exists.
Yes.
So the point I'm just trying to make is that I'm not saying the issue of surrogacy or no surrogacy. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's the best thing. I'm not saying it's not the best thing. But the reason why I put in the issue of faith is that when we are looking at it in the area of Christianity, child of God.
Yes.
God wants us to exercise faith. What do we need faith for?
We need faith.
We don't just faith. Faith is not just there that okay, I want to faith. No,
faith is not. Faith is not. See my understanding of faith. Yeah. Faith is not. It's got nothing to do with our issues, our problems. Faith is the ability to believe that there is somebody up there that can protect us from things that we have no power over. There are two different things. Remember, I said it before. There are things that He has given us power to do. There are things that He will do for us. Christians fail to understand these things. There are two things. There are things that God has given us power to do.
But okay, what now happens is, like for example, let's say a woman that, or let's say somebody that was blind and he believed in God and he prayed to God and he could see. Suddenly he could see. Would that person now say that his faith didn't work for him, or he didn't challenge God, or God didn't, or his eyes were just open natural, as in it just open like that.
There might be a purpose for that. God can do that for a purpose. It's not to prove anything to anybody.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So you cannot rely on that. If you rely on that, the person will die a blind person. Many people will die blind. If God wants to heal somebody, if he chooses to heal somebody for a purpose, he can do that. I'm not saying that God does not healing. There are healings in the church. There are healing in the body of God, but you don't go to God, you don't believe in God because of healing. That's my point.
But do you know that sometimes something leads people to God?
Exactly. For example, things that the doctors have said that cannot be cured. That's what I'm saying. I said there are two things. Things that has given us power to do, and things that we cannot do. If you have an issue and you go to the hospital and the doctor says this one is beyond medical treatment, you hand it over to God. You have played your part. Then that's when God takes over. But for you to sit back and start praying a prayer that God has already been answered, there's a technology that will solve your problem. There are sciences that people that God has given the gift to solve your issue. You say, no, I'm not going to them. I'm having faith. That means you are challenging your God with your issues. Your faith is based on your issues now. But when you have done what you're supposed to do,
when you say you are challenging, when you use the word challenging God with their issues,
I've served you all my life.
Okay, for someone like me now, for someone like me, or don't let me say someone like me, there might be someone like a Christian, a Christian, he might have an issue, and he will be like, I want to pray to God. God has done this. I've prayed to God regarding this before. He has done this before. Why now that I don't want to pray to God? Why do I think God cannot sort this out for me? And the person is believing God. See, it's personal. It's his choice. He can choose to believe in God. And the thing is, everything we are looking for on this earth, it remains on this earth. We don't take it upstairs. We don't take it to heaven. I mean, everything we are seeking for, we are a child, or they are not yours. Anything we are looking for on this earth, none of it is ours. When we die, we are not taking any of it to heaven, including these children.
Yes, of course. Yes.
So it's got nothing to do with whether you are challenging God. So anyone, some people, there's a lot of people have died in different ways. Some people died because of sickness. Some people died in an accident. Some people slept, they didn't wake up. So a lot of things. We just came to this world alone, and we're going alone. So when we're now saying that I want to believe God, when someone is saying he's believing God or is exercising faith, trusting God for something, it's not about challenging. It's not all the time that we're saying we are challenging God for this, that he must do it. It's just a point of saying that if you do it, fine. If you don't do it, fine. But that is the area of faith. It's not that we are challenging God. When we are exercising faith, when we are trusting God for something, we are not challenging God. We are committing it in his hand. If you do it, fine. If you don't do it, fine. That's what you are saying. I believe what faith is about. It's not that we are challenging God.
What I'm trying to say is this. Yeah. Before you say you are leaving God something in God's hands, yeah, you first of all ask yourself if God has given you the power to do what you are leaving in his hands. That's my problem. That's my issue here. Most of the times, the things that Christians say that they're living in the hands of God, those are the things that God has given us power to do.
Yeah.
If you carry something that he has given you power to do and live in his hand, that's ignorant. And the Bible says that people perish out of ignorance. If God has brought a doctor to you, a scientist to you, and gave him the wisdom to solve your problem, and you say, no, God, keep your scientist. I want you to do it. I'm believing in you. That's ignorance, and the person perishes.
Yeah, you can say it's ignorance.
What I'm trying to say is there are things. Number one is that every Christian, for you to be a Christian that can pray to God and leave something in the hand of God to do, you must be someone that is led by the Spirit. If you are not led by the Spirit of God, you are not a son of God. That's one, number one. And if you are someone that is led by the Spirit, He will lead you into all truth. But most people are not interested in that. All they know is that, because if you are led, the Spirit of God cannot lead you to leave something in the hand of God that He has given you power to do.
Sorry, 1 minute.
Direct you.
1 minute.
Okay. He will direct you to where you will get your solution. The Spirit of God will direct you to where you will get your solution. I've never seen someone that is led by the Spirit that says, God, I will leave this thing in your hand. If you do it, you do it. If you don't do it, no. That's the Christian. That's a statement of a religious person. It's a religious person that will say, God.
I don't. Me myself, I don't accept that.
Let me finish. It's a religious person.
Yeah, so that I won't forget it. If I'm interrupting you, brother, so that I won't forget. That's why I'm interrupting. Continue.
So what I'm saying is, a Christian that is led by the Spirit of God will never pray a prayer that, God, I'm leaving this into your hand. If you do it, you do. If you don't do it, you don't do. No. A spiritual person, someone that has the Spirit of God, will pray a prayer and wait for answers. The Spirit of God will lead you into what to do. If He wants you to wait, He will ask you to wait. If He wants you to go to the doctors, He will lead you to the doctors. Definitely. But what I'm saying is that, but most Christians, what they do, they are not interested in the Spirit of God, in the Holy Spirit. All they do is that, I've done this, I've done that. God, this is my problem. You solve it. And they're not asking themselves, what you're asking God to do, is this something that He has given you power to do? That is why I have issues. The problem that you are presenting to Him to solve, is it the problem that He has provided people with wisdom to solve? So if you are asking God to solve a problem that He has provided wisdom to someone to solve for you, that's ignorant. And a lot of people perish because of that. Like in the church now, there are a lot of single women in the church, single ladies, and they cannot marry themselves. No one wants to marry them. They cannot force themselves to a woman, to a man. But they want to have children. They want to have children, but what can they do? There is a system, there is a way. If they want, they can go to the hospital and get a treatment and have a child for themselves. It's the same thing as adopting a child. But because of religion, they will say no, they were not going to do it. I wait on God. They are getting to 50 years, they are waiting on God. A lot of them die childless, waiting. You are waiting on God for something that He has provided solution for. Childbearing is our responsibility. How we have children, how many children we have, got nothing to do with God. He has given us power to replenish the earth. How we do it is up to us. But most people, they sit back and say, I'm waiting on God. I'm having faith. You are getting to 60, you are having faith. There's a hospital that can give you child of your own. But you are having faith, you die a single person. That's ignorant. God cannot, you perish. God cannot help you in that because you are ignorant. Your situation has already been solved. Your circumstances have already been solved. But because of religion, finding it difficult to get away from the old wineskin. That's exactly what Jesus Christ said. You have to continuously renew your mind and get yourself, because you cannot pour a new wine into an old wineskin. If you don't get away from that old wineskin, it's a problem. And a lot of Christians have perished because of that. And it worries me a lot. Because when I look at the church, what I'm seeing, my heart bleeds all the time. You see young women, they can't marry themselves. You cannot force yourself to a man, but these women, they want to have children badly. Instead of them to find solutions, they are having faith. You see some of them, they go to 60 years, 70 years, having faith, no child.
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
Now, if someone comes to you that there is one woman in my church, and she has no husband, no boyfriend, no anything, and she said she wants a child, and this woman is telling me that if I could just give her my this thing, my sperm, that's all she wants, that you just give me your sperm, take it to the doctor. And what advice will you give to that person?
Go and get a treatment. It's done there legally. It's legal.
No. What I'm saying.
You don't have to go.
Like you said, you said in church, there are some ladies that Yeah, there no husband, no anything, and they want child that they can call their own.
Yes.
And this brother of God, he came to you and say, please, can you advise me? What can I do? There's one woman, lady in my church. He asked me to donate my sperm to her.
No, you can't do that.
Why?
That's a problem. You can't do that. If you
Why
want, what I'm saying is that there are professionals that does it.
I understand. He's gonna do it.
You have to.
She's gonna take the man to the hospital, and the doctors are the one that will do it. She just needed a donor.
That's what I'm saying. Donate that. It depends on what she wants to do. The way people
There's nothing he wants to do now. What he wants to do is donate this thing for me.
I understand. Let me answer your question. Let me answer your question. The way it's done is this: you go to the hospital and ask for a donor, and the doctors will advise you on what to do. There are different ways you can do it. You might sometimes anonymous. You don't need to know the person. Sometimes you will know the person. It depends on what you want to do. They will advise you, then you take it from there. It's not something that you approach someone and say, please, can you? It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, sometimes it can work.
A lot of medical tests have to go.
What I'm saying is,
yeah.
In a Christian body, I'm talking about Christian. I'm not talking about going out to go and get it now. Say a man, like a brother, can say, I want to go and be donating my sperm.
You can't do it outside of hospital. I will not advise anybody to do it outside of the hospital. If you want to do it, you need to meet a professional. What I'm saying is that it's
of
done.
Course, they are going to meet the professional.
Yeah. When you meet a professional, they will advise you on what to do.
No. It's like you're not getting my.
I get your point. What I'm saying is that I will not advise any woman to approach somebody and start asking them to donate something. That will be embarrassing, and that will not be spiritual. It will make you look vulnerable. That's the way it's done.
And also, as a man, is he okay to go and to donate?
Some people do it. Yeah, some people do it. They donate it. Of course, a lot of people do it.
No, I'm not saying some people now. I'm saying Christians.
As a Christian,
I'm talking about Christian. As a Christian, yeah.
If you feel like you want to donate, of course, it's not. There's no place in the Bible that said it's a sin. If you want to donate, you go and donate it. If you want to donate to someone that you know, if they agree, fine. The only thing that you are not going to sleep with them is going to be done in the hospital. You're not going to have any relationship with the person. It's like adopting. It's like somebody having a child that he cannot take care of, and then he gives it to someone to look after. Adoption. So if you give your child to someone, is he a sin? People give birth to children that have already given birth to. Because of circumstances, they cannot look after the child. They go and give it to someone. Let it be your child now, so that the child will survive. Is that a sin?
No, of course, no.
The child is the same as a sperm. A sperm is a child, isn't it? Is it because they call it sperm? That's what religion does to you. When you hear sperm, what comes into your head is sin. That's religion. That's what religion does to people. That's what's called ignorance. If someone can give a birth to a living child and give it away to someone, which one is more difficult? Giving away a child that you can see to someone to take, or giving a sperm, which one is more easy? But once the religious people hear sperm, what goes into their head is a sin. It's not. It's as simple as that. You can do it in the hospital, you can do it. They will advise you. If you want to meet the person, fine, they do it. If you don't want to meet the person, it becomes anonymous. It's done. But Christians, because of the way religion does things, people are still in their old wine skin. They don't want to open their, once they hear sperm, hey, you are going to hell. Everybody runs. But it's as simple as every other thing we do. It's not a sin. The Bible has not proven call it a sin. There's no evidence in the Bible that it's a sin. Adoption is not a sin. People give birth to live children and give it to people. It's not a sin.
Definitely.
So so how can a sperm going to be a sin? If someone can give away their living child and it's not a sin, how can you become a sin when you donate your sperm? It's the same thing. But because of religion, people don't want to hear these things like this. And innocent women in the church die childless because of religion.
Okay. Now back to what we were saying. When we started, we were talking about surrogacy and stuff like that. Yeah. So the reason why I brought the issue of faith into it is we as Christians, we cannot, in my own knowledge, my own personality, I cannot put away the side of faith. And like I said, there's nothing we brought to this world, and there's nothing we're taking to heaven when we die. So anything that's why I said when we are using faith as a Christian, it's about if God does it, fine. If He doesn't do it, see, in this world, whatever we have, like I said earlier, whatever we have, it remains in this earth. When we die, we're not taking anything to heaven. So there's no if I don't have this, heaven will let loose. No, there's nothing like that. Like you cannot see a person that believes in God and we care so much about anything. What they will be longing for is this God. How to walk with God, how to bless people, how to please God, how to affect life positively. That's what they'll be looking for. That's why I brought in the issue of faith into it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So if they can't do that, yeah, they can opt in. They can go for surrogacy and say, oh, I didn't say it's a sin. I never said it's a sin because it's not written in the Bible. The Bible says, go and replenish the earth. So you can replenish the earth how you feel like you can do it.
Yes.
The Bible didn't say it's a sin. No, it never said that. And God is there, up there. He's the judge of everything. At the end of the day, you will tell God, oh, this is what I have done with my life. But the reason why, like I said, the reason why I brought the issue of faith is this world, everything we acquire remains here. Being children. And the funny thing is that those children that we are talking about, they say you want to have a child, they are not even our children. We are only looking after them for God. When they get to a ripe stage, they will go their way. As husband and wife, we are carrying our children. Oh, blah, blah, blah. We started as husband and wife. Along the line, we started having children. And when it got to a point, these children will fly away and will remain that husband and wife again. And you have no control over those children to tell us that we are not the owner of those children itself.
Yeah,
so there's nothing we want to kill ourselves upon as Christians, that you want to worry yourself that, oh, that child has to come. As Christians, as believers, that's why I said the level of our faith. See, what I'm saying now, a lot of people might not accept it. That is because maybe he doesn't know the experience. You see, that's why he says, when the Spirit of God enters us, it will break down the old us.
Yeah,
like you're saying, the old wineskin. It will break it. Let me finish my own, please. Yeah. I beg you.
Yeah, I get
it. I'm trying to buttress on my.
You're very right. You're absolutely right in what you are saying.
So the old one, it has to break down. It has to break it down. See, it has no meaning. Everything in this world has no meaning.
You are making a lot.
It has no meaning. It has no value.
Yeah.
It has no. That's why I said all these things that we are saying, they are gradually taking us away from God.
Exactly.
They are gradually taking. You remember when Moses went to Pharaoh, he dropped his own staff. The staff turned to snake. That one saying, "Nah, sure you won't do for here. I better go call my magician, Jerry." They did their own. If this Moses snake, if it doesn't swallow those things, what would you think will happen? They'll be like, we are mates now. We are mates. That is where and it is rare. Those incidents, they are rare incidents. They are rare incidents. If God, at least like we are saying now that some women, if they don't, so a lot of them die childless with no husband and blah 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 blah.
I understand.
There's no there's no, like you said, there's no marriage on earth. We are going to heaven as we came.
Yeah,
to go and,
but I get that's a valid point, yeah. But that is nothing wrong for you to demand something that you like. As a Christian, you have the right to get what you, if what you want is a child. Some people, they love children, they want children, and you can get you can have it if that is what you want. You understand? So
yeah, of course.
You want a child. That's what I'm saying. I think it's not by force. Some people, they
don't care. Of course, it's not by force.
Yeah, some people are saying they don't want to get married, they want to have children. It's their choice, and they're Christians. So, but
yeah,
as a Christian,
even those that are not even Christians.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're right. If you can, you can be a Christian and you live your life the way it comes to you, cool. If you are in right, if you are in right with God, you make heaven. But what I'm saying, but as a Christian as well, if you need a child, if you love a child, if you want to have children, if you want to be a mother, it's within your right to have one. You understand? Well, what I'm saying,
yeah, of course, it's your right.
You really need it.
It's
Don't be ignorant that you want to challenge God with the need of a child.
And that's what I'm saying. When you are using the word, you are challenging God.
That's ignorant. A lot of people do it.
That is what I want to.
I know what I'm talking about. A lot of people do it. You might not.
That's what I'm saying. That
you might not
Christian,
do it as a person. You might not do it as a person. But a lot of people use their issues to challenge God.
Please, that's why I'm saying that when you're saying people using their issues to challenge God, Christians as Christians are a believer of God. We don't use our situations to challenge God. God is beyond saying,
I've done this, I've done that. You take it by force. That's the word quotation they say you have to take it by force. That's one of those things. But what I'm saying is,
it's the ignorance that we are talking about now.
That's what I'm saying.
Ignorance sets in.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That you have the right to get what you want as a Christian. But then,
of course, you do.
It's important for people to know what power they have given to you and what God will do for you. Before you start praying your prayers, you have first of all ask yourself, what I'm asking for, is it what He has given me power to do? What I'm asking for, is this beyond me as a human? That's the point I'm trying to bring across here. If you want to pray your prayer, you first of all think about the prayer you want to pray. You ask God what is beyond human. That's what is called supernatural. That's what God does. But for you to sit down, kneel down, and start asking God to do what He has given you power to do, that's ignorant, and that's where Christians suffer. You are that's why I bring the point for women that are languishing in the church. They don't have to have children, but some of them want children. Instead of them to find solution, they are praying for what God has given them power to do. And as a woman, you have a limited time. The time is passing. Instead of you to find solution, you're having faith. That means you are using your situation to challenge God with your faith. That's an ignorant faith.
You're not using your... See,
I'm saying I believe you have to do it. I'm serving you. I must have a child before this. You did it for Sarah. You have to do it for me. You want to use your situation to put God in the position that He has to do it because He did it for Pharaoh. That's ignorant. He has put
you cannot. That's where
people do it. I'm telling you, you might not do it.
No. I'm not saying people are not doing it.
You might have passed that level, but people do
it. Okay. Listen. Okay, I bet. Okay, hear me.
Yeah.
As a parent.
Yeah.
Imagine your child coming to you and say, "Daddy, because I did this one, you must do this one." You will be like, "Excuse me, what are you talking about?"
Christians do it.
The same thing with God. We cannot. If we truly know who God is as our Father, you won't challenge God with your situation. No, you won't. And like you said, when God hears our prayers, He answers our prayers in different ways.
Yeah.
It takes a spiritual minded person to know when your prayer is answered. I remember one long time ago, I was praying to God for something, and like a direction. I was praying God for a direction, praying to God for a direction. And one day my father just came in and then say, from now on, this is what we'll be doing. This, not knowing that is what I have been praying for.
Exactly.
Because so he just said it. Person, I left his presence. I was just going to thanking God. God, I thank you because you gave me the answer to my prayer.
Exactly. Because you are led by the Spirit. But religious people will not do that. They are waiting for a straightforward answer for something that has been provided.
Yeah, of course. That is ignorance. That's okay, imagine a child, somebody that wants to write an exam, and you are believing God to pass, and you don't do your necessary things. How can you say you are believing God to pass? That is stupidity. You can't believe God ignorantly. You can't believe God ignorantly. That's why I said I'm not saying having a child is a bad thing. As a Christian, if we desire to have a child and it's taking a while, if we can afford surrogacy, IVF, all those things, go for it. And I have seen a lot of people that have done these things and it still didn't work for them. Still, despite the fact that those medical science, everything is there, it still didn't work. What can we say to those things? Because it's not all of them that he worked for.
It depends. I don't understand. What do you mean it didn't work?
Like I've seen a lot of people that have done, as in looking for children of their own, and they've done all these things and it still didn't work.
But it might take time, it will work.
Yeah, the same thing. It might take time, it will work.
They will tell you reason why it didn't work. That's why that's science. There's no if it didn't work, the scientists, they will tell you this is why it didn't work. If you do it this way, it will work. So it depends. It's not a that's the same thing. That's exactly what we are saying. Okay, so it means that if it doesn't work at that point, it means that it's not absolute. It's not absolute. Like it is 100% that it is going to work. It works. Surrogacy works.
Yeah,
it works.
Yeah, it works.
The IVF is different. IVF is someone that is a different ball game. That one might fail. But surrogacy, sperm donor, it works if you are healthy. There are different.
If you are healthy.
Yeah, if you are healthy, there are different things. There are different between someone that is sick and someone that is healthy. If you cannot conceive a child and you have a healthy eggs, if they put your healthy eggs in a healthy woman, 100% it will work. If it did not work, that means the person is not healthy. The doctors will tell you why. That's why I say you have to renew your mind and grow with time.
Yeah, of course.
And get rid of the religion. Religion will keep you stuck in the past. So definitely, if you go and seek for help from the scientists, they will tell you what it takes. If your egg is not healthy, they will tell you this is what to do to make your egg healthy. They will put your healthy egg to a healthy woman, you have a child. It's not something that you want to use to challenge God. I've served you all my life. You have to give me a child. Who are you? People say that.
When you say
I'm telling you, it's a fact. I've given all my money to the church. You have to give me a child.
I know. That's when you say you are challenging God, that is what is making me laugh. Because
you are laughing as if I'm saying something that is strange, but it's something that we see every day.
Not because of that. Why I'm laughing is, I said earlier that when you see somebody, or when somebody tells you that I'm a Christian, it doesn't mean they are Christian.
That means that
the fact that you are going to church.
That means 80% of people in the church are
praying to God. Sorry?
80% of people in the church are not Christian, actually.
I'm not the judge. I'm not the judge of that. But the thing is, the fact that you are praying to God doesn't make you a believer of God. Some people might just say, "Oh, let me just pray." They say it works. Let me try. The fact you are going to church doesn't make you a Christian. This Christianity of a thing is a personal thing. Yeah. So we cannot judge everybody based on some set of people. No, we can't. You can't say, "Oh, you are challenging," because the more you are saying people are using it to challenge God, I'm feeling kind of that. No. Christians don't challenge God with their issues. Christians don't challenge God with their problems. No. As Christians, we don't challenge God with our problems.
That's very wrong, but I see it every day. I see it.
But those ones,
prayers,
and
I see it every day, and I know it's wrong. That's why I'm doing this recording.
Preach to them and make them understand that we don't challenge God with our situations. No.
Well, thank you very much. Our time is up. We don't get carried away. Thank you.
But the basis of it is, I'm not saying surrogacy it's a sin. If you are capable, you can afford it, go for it. God didn't say this is how you will have your children. If that's the way you will have it, go and have it there. If you can wait on God, I'm not saying you cannot wait on God. It's your choice. But what I'm trying to say is that don't let us let all these technologies, this science draw us away from God. That is just the point I'm trying to make.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
sir. You're welcome.